Hey friends, welcome back to OG Universe, and we're continuing our look at the Mcfarlane Toys DC Multiverse JLA Plastic Man Build to Connect figure wave. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but today we're taking a look at the electric blue Superman. We got the red one in the background, the Platinum Chase variant. But this figure is very, very cool. I never thought we'd get this variant of Superman. This first appeared back in the 90s, and it was a very different kind of approach for Superman. Because we're used to Superman, he died, came back, had a mullet, and then he went to this kind of split personality of red and blue. So basically, the story goes, he was basically just stressed out, dealing with so much pressure of being Superman, Clark Kent, and while in the bottled city of Kandor, he created this machine that helped him increase his brain capacity to deal with all the stresses, and inadvertently it split his personalities into a blue and red. The red being the more aggressive, the blue being more analytical. Both of these figures really caught my attention when they were first solicited. I thought, man, finding that Platinum Chase is a must-have. I have to get that because you gotta have both of these, the red and the blue. I almost think Mcfarlane could have done a 2-pack with these, add a piece of like a ledge of a building or something. So there's some iconic covers that have that kind of thing going on, but alas, it's a Platinum Chase variant. I hear it's very hard to find. I was very lucky to find it at my GameStop. They put it away for me. They knew I was desperately looking for it, and I thank them profusely. Awesome GameStop here that I patron and get all my pre-orders done. Fantastic stuff. But let's carry on and take a closer look at the figure, what you get, and some final thoughts on that figure. So with the packaging, you got that bigger window box that does have the trading card, the display stand, nothing else going on. And on the back, you do have the cross-sell of the figures you need to collect and build. Plastic Man. Nice artwork of Plastic Man there being all plasticky and stretched out. The one thing about this is the Superman that's in the trading card and on the artwork, but it's not the Superman you're getting. I'm glad we're not getting that Superman because we've had a lot of Supermans, especially the mullet one. Would have been nice if they did have the correct artwork focusing on the red and blue Superman. That would have been nice. It's the same thing with the Green Lantern. That's a Green Lantern from the 70s. And I don't even think Green Lantern should have really been in this. He could have been a single release down the road. I think his spot should have gone to a bit more of a deserving character. If you're doing that JLA Grant Morrison run, you could have put someone else like Aztec or Zor-El. I would be okay with even another Kyle Rayner. I know we got a lot of Kyle Rayners, but I missed out on a few of them. Would have been a nice little addition to the collection, but overall, it's okay. And we also got the most important part, that is the build-a-piece for Plastic Man. What I really like about this line here, this black line that connects the costume, is actually sculpted. It's not just painted on, it's a raised texture, and it's a sculpted piece. So I really appreciate that. Can't wait to put Plastic Man together and put him in the JLA. Very cool. But let's take a closer look at this figure. You also get all of these electrical pieces on the figure that you can attach in any kind of spot you'll want to. The one thing I'm not a huge fan of these electrical pieces, they're not the best. They don't stay on. If you're a kid playing with this figure, they're gonna fall off for sure. I do appreciate they didn't go with that plug-in method that they did with the flash and the reverse flash with the lightning bolts, but I think they need to improve on the maybe durability, maybe the connection points, something a little bit better, because they will eventually just, fall right off. They're very loose. So, but there you go with that. Now, for the rest of you, I'm just going to take these off. As you can see, you can put them anywhere. I mean, you can put these ones on his arms, on his legs, whatever tickles your fancy, but I'm okay without them being on. Now, the figure here is an extremely striking figure. Does have so many good aspects. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of Jim just kind of tampering and stamping on the decos, but it's done so damn well, so crisp. I really prefer the sculpted details, line work, all that kind of stuff. But man, they didn't miss a single spot. There's no bleed through. There's no, errors, so to speak. It is just perfection. It is done so damn well. And the head sculpt as well. That head sculpt just captures Superman. It's got this stoic look about it. Looking at the figure through the camera, it does seem a little bit brighter, the blue, but in person it does have some darkness to it, almost like a black wash in certain areas, and it does look really, really good. I mean, and you can get him some flight poses, some good articulation in the neck. It is really a well done figure. The overall detail is fantastic. Now, this is using a body buck that I really do like. It is the Page Puncher Superman. Now, we do have this newest version of Superman in that lighter, supposedly a classic, is what they're calling it, DC Classic Superman. And it's that smiling face Superman. I swapped out the head, put that head back onto the original Page Puncher Superman, and I went with this Superboy Prime head sculpt. That man just brings this figure together. I love the way this figure looks, and it's pretty amazing that these two guys are the same body buck with extreme differences. All the extra attention to detail, all the embellishments on the belt, the boots, this really nice crest logo of Superman. I love the way that's done. And basically, it's the exact same figure. It just shows what you can do with a body buck that's really awesome, and just strip things away or add to it to specifically go with that character you're trying to create. It's really, really impressive the way they do this. I really do like this Superman. I think the color change from the light blue from that dark really pops. The yellow, the red, they look fantastic. And this one, although it is a kind of scaled down version, it's just a plain body buck, you know, almost like that Marvel Legends kind of style where they just paint on different costume details. They did a really good job with this Superman, and I'm really pleasantly surprised how it turned out. So let's just get this guy out of the way for now, and we'll just take a little bit closer look. One of the things that it really stands out is these cuffs. That's kind of a giveaway from that Page Puncher Superman. The bit more of a narrower chest as well. It's a little bit of a giveaway. The hands, for some reason, these hands, they're not the gigantic hands that really plague that Page Puncher Superman with those watermelon hands. It kind of suits the body buck really perfectly. I think it looks great. There's no extra embellishments on the legs either, so there's no cuts for the boots or anything like that. But overall, this figure just looks really impressive. It's extremely well done. And man, I am shocked that he's even part of this collection for sure. But he was in the storylines from JLA. This Superman was predominant, so it was good to see him actually added onto this assortment as well. So let's go over some articulation on this figure. It's going to be pretty much the exact same as that Page Puncher Superman. I didn't have to do any adjustments to the neck peg, and you get an amazing range of motion for flight poses. Really nice looks down, side attitude. You do have the spacer joint that's quite prevalent in this one, but I like how it's actually painted white. It goes and corresponds with the rest of the white on the upper torso. You do have the butterfly hinge, like I said. You got the bicep cut, double joint ratcheted elbows. You get the ball joints in the wrist. Now for articulation in the torso, it's a little stiff. So you might have to heat it up, but he can go back quite a bit. Forwards, not too bad. You do have that ball joint in the waist as well. You got the ball joints in the thighs, and the hips, double jointed ratcheted knees, to articulation, pivot, rocker joints, everything there with a sculpted ball joint hidden up there. So yeah, this is a striking figure. Now, I do remember back in the day, probably DC Direct, did make an Ed McGuinness style red and blue Superman. He was really nice. I remember seeing that in the comic book stores. It looked impressive, minus the articulation. The articulation was like nowhere to be found, but I'm kind of glad they went with this more pronounced, more serious, not as cartoony a look. Because Ed McGuinness's art sometimes is, a little bit cartoony. I love his artwork. I think it translates to action figures really well, but I'm glad they went with a more stoic, serious look for this version of Electric Blue Superman. Now, let's do some comparisons with some other figures. We got the Wally West here, when he had the power of Dr. Manhattan. Another different character in blue, of course. These two guys, he could go your Justice League, he could go your Teen Titans, but this is such a unique Superman. I think any team that you're going to put him on, it's going to be pretty cool. If it's Just Leave America, JLA, um, or just with the super family, right? It looks really good. I really like the way the size comparison is too. You know, he's got a bit of a, he's not extremely super buffed, and this version of Superman is a bit powered down, so to speak. He has his electrical powers, magnetic powers, but he doesn't have the level of super strength that a regular Superman has. So it's a different kind of power set. So I'm glad he's not this super hulking kind of version of Superman. He's got a bit more of a slender body, but it still works very well for this characterization. And we'll take a look at one of my favorites for sure, and that is this version of the Silver Age Green Lantern. Looks really nice. These two guys on a team doing some adventures, that'd be pretty cool. Good size comparison as well. And then we'll bring in another character I really like, and this is the Booster Gold that was in the Blue Beetle 2-pack. This shares a body buck from, of course, the original Blue Beetle, but also Animal Man, the Green Lantern we just showed, and it's a phenomenal body. Now, it doesn't have all of the sculpted details that we all love, but the way they made the paint decos work on this figure, they did a fantastic job. Just like on this one, Blue Beetle, Animal Man, and of course this brand new Superman. Really nice to see these two guys together. And then we'll bring in his other wave mate from this series. Now this is that kind of black suited Batman, which is really pretty plain. It's got some weird kind of blue accents going on in the legs and the gauntlets and the boots, but still pretty damn nice figure. I did swap out the head and put that kind of gritting teeth Jim Lee head sculpt from the Hush 2-pack. Picked that 2-pack up for next to nothing, so it was great to kind of Frankenstein this and use some body parts to make my own custom Batman. I like this head sculpt so much better. It originally had a Three Jokers head sculpt on this black suited Batman, and it just sat so far down on the neck peg because it's that one-piece neck and head sculpt. Just didn't work out for me. I wasn't really impressed with it. It just sat too low. Articulation was very limited. And this one does have a bit of a longer sculpted neck, so it fits in better, gives them better articulation as well. But I really like the way that turned out. We have some videos in regards to this and some shorts. You can check that out. But yeah, these two guys are wave mates for this Plastic Man Build-A-Wave figure set, and they look pretty good. Now, this Batman is pretty big. You know, the Three Jokers body buck is a bit bigger of a Batman, but I don't know. I mean, it still looks really good. Height difference. It's just a little bit taller. Of course, this is the longer neck, so if we did have that smaller, stubbier neck, they'd probably be about the same height. But still, I really like the way these guys look together. I don't think I would put this in my Justice League, so to speak. This version of Batman, I think that's definitely, you know, part of the Bat family by itself kind of thing. I don't think this version would be a team costume, so to speak. There's some other Batmans that would fit in much better with the Justice League or JLA or Justice League of America, whatever kind of incarnation of the Justice League you want. But it's still, it's kind of growing me. During the video review, I did have some negative comments about it. But I think with a little bit of the head swap, I can still contemplate if I want to paint the gauntlets and the shin guards here a flat metallic or a flat kind of base black, but we'll see later on down the road. But I do appreciate that extra head sculpt that we added. Looks very nice. Very cool. And let's bring out some other Supermen to go along with this guide. So this is that one from the Collector's series, that mullet-haired Superman. This guy is a big boy. I'm glad they didn't use this body buck for this figure. Would have been a little off, but it's a figure that's really grown on me. I really do like it. It's that figure from the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns wave. Now, we did do some toy surgery on this guy. We did add an extended neck peg in there because he had that short stubby one, and I got some shorts on that and how I processed and how I changed this figure into a much better figure in my opinion. And we gave this guy that extra neck articulation that he had with that longer neck peg that was borrowed from the Dawn of Justice Batman. And of course, we customized that guy too. Check out my videos and shorts on that. That one was a really nice turnout. Turned out very well. But yeah, different versions of Superman. I think it's cool that we have so many different variants. And Superman, you know, he doesn't have a heck of a lot of variants. Not like Batman, where, you know, black and gray, blue and gray, black, all those different kind of color suits that he has, so to speak, some tech gear. You know, we're not doing the rainbows of Batman, which is good, but some different versions is okay. Different costumes and just different artistic impressions is fine. Superman hasn't had a lot of different versions. You know, we got the other, no, it's a digital wave, sorry, that's gonna sport this body buck with an Ed McGuinness head sculpt, an eagle, darker tones. He's gonna have the black instead of the yellow showing through the S logo, which is gonna be awesome. I really like that version from our World at War. So yeah, it's we got a lot of cool Supermans coming down the pipeline. So I'm really happy that we're getting such a broad range of different versions of Superman. And then we're gonna put him with this guy here. This is my definitive Superman from my collection. This is the Jim Lee Hush with the kind of regular head, not the angry head sculpt. And we extended the torso on this guy, added the new neck pig, did all those kind of things. Lots of shorts and videos throughout my playlist and my channel. And you can see the process that went through, but this really turned out to be one of my favorite Superman figures. And for that classic red and blue and yellow, this is my Superman in my collection. He's my go-to. But this one, man, I really like it. It's a very well done figure. It's kind of simplistic in its essence of paint deco, but what they have done with this figure with the white and the blue, there's no bleed through. The colors look fantastic. They're tight line work. There's no mistakes. It looks phenomenal. It definitely feels like kind of like a really fun, really good quality figure with no loose joints, no articulation hiccups. It flows extremely well, just like our other Superman that we have here. Page Punchers, which is based on this body. And it's pretty amazing to see this figure reworked into that kind of Superman. Very impressed. Very well done, Mcfarlane Toys. Definitely a very good stride in the right direction when we're doing these kind of things. If they could just fix those lightning bolt pieces and make them a little bit more sturdy and clip on a little better, but without putting those holes and those pegs in the figure's arms and legs, because that really detracts from the sculpt. So I appreciate they didn't do that, but they could kind of work on making those lightning effect pieces a little bit better. And then you can see in the background here, we do have the Platinum Chase red variant. So it's identical to this guy, of course, it's just in red. The effect pieces are the same. The Plastic Man piece is the exact same as well. I know a lot of people are hunting this down. They definitely, in my opinion, should have done that 2-pack of the red and blue. Hopefully, maybe down the road, we'll see that. I don't know. I think these two figures are selling really well because you can't find any of these guys in local retail here in where I'm living. GameStops, Toys R Us, there is nothing to be found. If you didn't pre-order, it's tough to say that, yeah, you're probably not going to get it. Definitely go online, check Amazon. Hopefully there's some extra stock kicking around, but these two are definitely worth having in your collection. Of course, if you're building that Plastic Man, you're gonna need that torso piece. But if you want that red and blue and you got the nostalgia goggles on, during that time frame in the 90s, I wasn't reading DC that much at all. I was an X-Men guy and I loved my X-Men and Spidey. So it's great to get these guys back. I'm going to do a bit more research comic book wise. I definitely want to get some trades or maybe some of the original comics that have those really iconic covers. And, you know, just delve into this version of Superman. So you haven't really seen this version of Superman since. I know the Superboy he's got some electrical powers in his 6-issue miniseries that came out a while ago. I haven't had a chance to read all of it, but I know he's starting to get some electrical powers as well. So it's interesting to see what's going to happen there and what's going on. But yeah, there you go, guys. That's my thoughts on this electric blue JLA Superman. Definite must have. If you're a Superman fan, if you want to build a Plastic Man, you definitely need the build-apart piece. If you're hunting for those platinums, man, that red looks really damn sharp. It looks fantastic. But overall, a must-have figure to get. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about the Superman. Check out my playlist for lots more video reviews, shorts on tons of DC Multiverse figures. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day, spending some time with me, and we're talking DC Multiverse and Superman. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome day.